Hi, I'm Lydia Rocha and I love photography. I love going out with my friends and taking pictures and doing photo shoots. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that because of the pandemic last year and I felt like my creativity was stifled. I decided to jump on Zoom with some creatives that I know and asked them whether or not they felt the same that I did. And here are some of the replies. Okay, my first question is, what is your creative process?
Creative process. That's a little tough because it depends on the art form that I make, like that I'm making, because I have so many art forms that I like that I work on.
Or
Yeah,
just how you kind of get things done.
yeah.
Well, it depends on where it's derived from and like timing wise.
And so like my process is different throughout, but it's always I want to do something, I try to do it, I work on it, and then I finish it.
I mean, having a deadline and knowing what I have to do to get to it, but also finding the time to do it because I'm also a mom and who goes to school full time and also works. So it's like juggling all of those things and being able to get a project done sometimes is very difficult. So like finding the time and making sure that I can dedicate a little bit of creativity time to what I have to get done is kind of like my creative process. Is like, okay, I have this and this I have to do. I have to make dinner. I have to do all this stuff for my kids. And then I can go and draw my fancy little pictures or whatever.
When I see something and I'm inspired by it and I want to create something that is influenced by that thing, or if it's something that someone says, or if it's something visual that I see on the internet that I am inspired by. And depending on how busy my schedule is, it's also how much time I'm going to devote to that one thing that I want to create. It also depends like how fired up I am.
Okay. How has the pandemic disrupted like your creative process or your creativity?
Girl, let me tell you, it's been horrible. I used to make like so much art before the pandemic. Like I'd be painting this while painting that. I'd be like photographing this, and I have a scheduled photography session with someone. But then now, like we can't even do a lot of the things that we used to. And then my mental health, like it plays along with my creativity. If I'm mentally stable, I do art all the time. If I'm mentally unstable, I'll do art, but like just like less. I stopped painting a lot during the pandemic. It's been difficult to like be creative in that sense. I've started to do more photography. I do have some other works that have been like very stunned by them. I had to do photography for a party. Like it was my first paid gig, and then I lost it because of the pandemic. It was just like so unfortunate.
Well, a lot of it is like that was the time, the studio time would be like where I would go in and like do my art. So like get away from the kids and them asking me for milk and make lunch or whatever. And then also like the creativity that you get from other people like that are around, in an art studio class, like you communicate with them, you read off them, it pushes you to do different kind of assignment, like a kind of, maybe like art that you wouldn't just do sitting in your kitchen, reading the assignment online and doing it all by yourself.
Creative process being influenced by people has definitely been deterred by the pandemic since there's less social interaction.
Yeah. Has the pandemic influenced your art in any way?
With photography, it has been like that. Like how I was telling you, like we can't leave the house a lot, and so like what we've been doing was we've been driving a lot. Like we started driving a lot. Like we drove so much last year because we couldn't leave like our house and be with a lot of people. So what we would do is we would drive around the like the city. Like during all that, I started taking more photography and just documenting like isolated areas. Um, and so like yeah, it's also like helped narrow down art that I stopped doing and I want to start doing even more.
I say like it probably like sucked it away, like it hasn't like given me like the to like want to go and do more, because I feel like I have these other things on my plate that I have to do, you know, like being at home with the kids, and then they transition to online school, and then so like, you know, now we're getting them back to school, and then like just having a new schedule and a new routine really messes with me being able to like do any art in the first place. So yeah.
I've definitely been influenced by those online artists, online figures, and I've definitely taken some of those elements of their work and try to incorporate them into mine, like digital art or like physical art, and have that all. So the pandemic has given us more time to be by ourselves, and so those people took that time to be able to create things for us to see and for us to be influenced by.
A lot of artists felt stifled, felt deterred, felt discouraged by this pandemic. So if you're an artist out there, I hope that you also feel like you're not the only one. So keep on creating, keep on going, and that's all we need to do. All my questions, and I just want to thank you so much for like allowing me like a few like minutes to actually like ask you questions and just like
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.